You're going to fail at dropshipping. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to save you months of finding out the hard way and help you succeed where most people don't. Today, I'm breaking down the exact mistakes that kill stores in 2026. If you can dodge even half of what I'm about to show you, this could be the year that you finally get ahead. Let's get into it. Okay, so one of the fastest ways to kill your store is chasing everything at once. TikTok tells you one strategy. YouTube tells you a completely different strategy. A new winning method pops up every single week. So you switch products, you switch your method, you switch your strategy, you switch your traffic sources, your store models, and every switch feels productive, right? It feels like you're going in the right way, but in reality, you're actually resetting momentum. Real progress comes from sticking to one product type and traffic source, and one store model long enough for the data to actually mean something. Execution is going to beat novelty every single time. All right, number 2. Most beginners aren't lazy because, we're getting started. We're actually doing the things, right? We're not lazy. What it is a lot of people are scared. Scared to look stupid. So they wait. And waiting kind of feels productive because it feels like you're actually waiting for something, for that big reveal. In the end, doesn't produce anything. Also, your first product is not meant to be a winner. It's meant to teach you how this business actually works. Progress is gonna beat perfection, especially in 2026. And spoiler alert, you don't need a huge budget to start anymore. You just need really to start moving. Number 3, this is where people get stuck for months. Endless product hunting. Testing too many products at once or never testing some at all and just keeping them in the back burner, even though they're really good. You're looking for certainty that doesn't really exist. Data is going to compound a lot faster than research. If a product solves a real problem and you're even 51% confident, just run it. And instead of guessing or scrolling endlessly, this is where systems actually start to matter. AutoDS surfaces products that are already selling. So you're starting from demand or with products that have demand and not just opinions or what you think of the product. That alone is going to save you weeks of hesitation. All right, next up, our 4th point is going to be something that actually sounds very obvious, but the reason it kills stores has kind of changed in 2026. Look, slow shipping, we all know that people don't like slow shipping anymore. We're in the age of Amazon. We've been in the age of Amazon. But slow shipping doesn't just hurt conversions. It actually breaks trust. Customers, they're going to expect updates. They want visibility and they want reliability. When orders take 2 or 3 weeks with unclear tracking or no tracking at all, that's when refunds, disputes, and processor issues start stacking up. The baseline now is simple. If your product can't reliably arrive in under 2 weeks, you're already behind. Better logistics don't just make customers happier, they actually protect your store from problems that quietly start to kill your momentum. All right, the next point number 5, is another reason that stores fail that actually has nothing to do with the products or with the ads that they run. It's doing everything manually for too long. Manually fulfilling orders, manually checking stock, manually updating prices. At first, it feels manageable, and it really is because you're only getting 1, 2, maybe 3 orders a day. But then you start to get a few more sales, and that's when mistakes start to creep in. You get wrong variants. So you place the order for the wrong variation. Maybe your supplier is out of stock, or there's some sort of delayed order, some sort of delayed shipping. This is where beginners start to burn out because it just feels like it's too much at once. Your backend should run without you having to babysit it. Not so you can be lazy, but so you don't lose momentum when things start working. When that friction is removed, your time goes to where it actually matters, and that's on the customer service and making sure everything runs smoothly. Point number 6 is big budgets with zero signal is not testing, it's gambling. In 2026, ads are more expensive than ever, and people's attention is a lot shorter. Proof should always come before you try to start to scale. Organic tests, small budgets, multiple creatives. And here's the part that most people miss. When something finally does work, that's when everything breaks if you're not ready. And that's the craziest part because a lot of people think, oh, I'll just figure it out when I get there. That might not be the best idea. If your store looks like a random product dump, people don't trust it. Don't just add every single product that you can think of to your dropshipping store. No brand equals really no confidence in the store. So a couple things that you need. For one, you definitely need a clean layout. At least it needs to look professional. Also, you need clear messaging. Your product pages, they need to explain why that product matters or what that problem that product is solving. And also, AI-assisted branding isn't optional anymore. It's the baseline at this point. And you don't need to spend $500 or $600 testing influencer ads. just to see if something works. Short form content and UGC style creatives let you test angles a lot cheaper and a lot quicker than before, all without having, that creator crash or that creator burnout, because not all of us are content creators. Now, next point number 8, making sales doesn't mean that you're profitable. And that might sound kind of crazy, but ads, refunds, fees, and shipping, they start to eat up your margins. And if you're not careful, it can start putting you in the red. You need to treat dropshipping as a type of equation, not like you're guessing on a multiple choice test. Every bad metric has some sort of fix, but only if you're actually tracking it. You need to know what you're taking home after everything, after the fees, after the shipping, especially when you're first setting your pricing. All right, point number 9. This is a pretty big one in 26, and we've experienced it quite a few times when we've talked about it. TikTok accounts get banned overnight. Ad accounts get restricted without warning, and payment processors freeze funds. And most people build their entire business on one platform. Platforms are traffic sources, not your business. Your store and systems need to survive from these platform issues, because from one day to the other, like as we saw before, TikTok was gone. And on that note, ignoring content as a skill is a major issue. And here's a major shift. Ads are expensive. Content is leverage. Most people fail because they refuse to learn hooks, angles, and storytelling. They post randomly instead of intentionally. You don't need to always go viral. You need to be clear and consistent. And when content finally hits, your back end needs to be solid, of course, or your momentum is going to start to die. Now, on that note, everyone uses AI in 2026. Most people, unfortunately, use it badly. But if you want to learn how to use it the right way, make sure you subscribe. But that ultimately translates into lazy product pages. Zero differentiation. AI speeds up thinking, but it doesn't replace it. You still need your judgment. AI plus systems, that's what's going to get you leverage. Now, if you're just using AI alone, you're just creating noise at that point. Like everyone's doing it. Stand out. All right, so this next one is what really wipes people out, and that's not staying informed on policy changes. This is huge. Platform rules always change. Ad policies, they also change. Processor rules, payment processor rules change. And if you're not staying informed, you're essentially doing everything blindly. And that's why subscribing and staying plugged in actually matters, not just for the hype, but for survival of your store. Now, moving on, a lot of people don't prep for scale, and that's point number 13. Most beginners think, I'll fix it when I get sales. We talked about it earlier. When sales hit, weak systems are going to start to collapse. Things aren't going to work. Suppliers are going to fail if you don't have multiple, or if you're not keeping track of them. Fulfillment bottlenecks are going to start to appear, and you're going to start to realize, I should have done some prep work beforehand, because at the same time, your customer service is going to start being more demanding. You need to build like it's going to work. You already need to have in mind that this is going to work. So you need to have all these systems and all of these steps in place. One of the craziest things that I've heard that our CEO, Leo, actually said something along the lines that you need to be delusional in order to succeed, or people that are delusional are the ones that actually succeed because they're the ones that actually see the vision, dude. And I get it. A lot of people start to become very nonchalant about things, or they're just very passive. You need to have that vision in mind. You need to have that sort of, I guess, delusional look on things. Because if not, then what's going to keep you going? Now, on that note, a lot of people quit too early because it might feel lonely. And this one's very real. Everyone sees highlight reels. Nobody talks about the boring middle part. People quit not because they're incapable, but because they don't have feedback. They don't have structure or confirmation that they're on the right path. Most people are actually a lot closer than they think. Like AutoDS normally runs around like $40 a month, and there's a $1 trial link below. So use it or not. The point here is removing friction while you learn so you can actually start to scale. Now, if you do want to get started dropshipping on Shopify on a strong foot with systems that are already in place and building a Shopify store from the ground up in just a matter of minutes with the help of AI, then make sure to check out this video right here.